Hey kids, so I thought I'd talk about edema today and some possible causes and some possible solutions. The subject has come up recently because I just took my socks off after like 24 hours because it's cold and wintry here. And I don't have edema anymore. I used to, and it used to be really bothersome. I was heavier for a lot of different reasons, and then when I lost the weight, I discovered different times that I would have some edema or not. I wouldn't have much edema. And then the subject came up recently because the ex-wife had back surgery and now she has edema. Part of it is a result of some medication that I think she's on, and then also inactivity. So medications can cause edema. Our lifestyle causes edema. Some of the foods we eat cause edema, I believe. I don't know, prove me wrong. But anyway, I believe that, first of all, getting a little bit active, starting to walk, will help with the edema. Drinking water helps with edema. So first of all, what is edema? Edema is the accumulation of water in your legs, your lower legs, your lower extremities, as they would say. So anyway, the one thing that I recommended to the ex-wife recently after she had the back surgery was you need to get a little bit more mobile and you need to drink more water. And like about a week later, she said, yeah, the doctor said the same thing. Okay, so I've heard from several people today, actually within the last 24 hours, 3 different people. One is suffering from MS, and she does really well as to getting out and getting active, even though she can't walk. And after my video yesterday, she said, you are so right about what you're saying about such and such. I think it was the sugars and things like that. So that's some of the other causes of edema really are sodas. And don't kid yourself by going to diet sodas, because you're just drinking chemicals that are going to add other problems. So one of the things are the prescription drugs. You want to try to get off of those things, and as you change your lifestyle, get more active, and start to eat differently, adjust the way you eat every day, then the edema and these things will go away, especially with the walking, and especially walking inclines. You will notice if you have edema and then the water is starting to accumulate into your lungs and so forth by when you're walking inclines. If you are noticing that you're breathing heavy and you're wanting to spit a lot, you've got a water accumulation in your lungs. So that works up from your legs and so forth. So the only way to get it out, one of the ways to get it out, is to get active and start to walk. And I'm not talking walking 6 miles. I'm talking about walking 15 minutes uphill and 15 minutes downhill. That's all you really have to do. And then maybe start to do that several times a day as you can. When you are heavier, it's more difficult. So those are, in my opinion, some of the causes. The sodas we drink, the things we eat, the things we drink, all the foods that we eat, especially when you eat in restaurants, has so much sodium, it's unbelievable. All of the prescription drugs, we don't know what they really cause. Doctors have said this. We don't know what they do, especially when you start to take more than one. So I'm only on 1/2 of a blood pressure pill that I used to be on a whole one, which is still small, but since I was 24 years old. Now I'm only on 1/2 of that since I had 3 stents put in. And all of the other stuff I used to be on, as a matter of fact, I have the bottles right here. Here's an illustration. I just happen to have these for storage. These are the bottles. That's 1, that's 2. That's huge. That's the size of my head. Okay, so that's what I used to be on, and I'm not on that any longer. I'm off of all of that stuff. And I'm glad I'm off of all of that stuff, and it's based on changing my lifestyle and the way I eat. I eat everything, but I don't eat sauces. I don't put salt on anything, and I try not to use too much sugar. I like sugar, and sugar is addicting, but it causes a lot of other problems. Sugars probably lead to some major diseases that I'm not qualified to get into right now. I'm not qualified to get into a lot of stuff right now, but anyway, I think that a lot of what we eat leads to some of these diseases. So the edema, the best thing to do is start to get active every day. Do a little bit. Do some walking. You've got to you got to work this large muscle group called your rear end or your ass. Okay, so you got to work those large muscle groups, and that's what burns the fat. That's what gets your metabolism going. That's what gets your lower extremities working. Those get your arterial system working so that your blood circulates and gets that water, that moisture out of your legs, your lower extremities, works it up into your other parts of the body, and you get it out of your system. I don't have any edema anymore. I was amazed this morning when I looked at my legs. I had another message from somebody else today, just this morning. He said he's been watching recently, and he is down 10 pounds, and his sugar is down 50 points. Now, I don't know if he's following my program, but obviously he's trying. And I know he's tried several different times, multiple times. He's my age, so I know he's tried multiple times. I know he's probably really wanting to have a better body, and a healthier body is what this is about, and feel good about yourself and be able to do more things. And so I know that Melinda is, my wife, is very successful also. She just said, your system works. She was down, when I talked to her last night, she's 12 hours away, 13 hours away. That was her morning. She weighed herself. She was 121.2. And now I just talked to her and she's 120, and she's all excited. 120, just during the daytime. And the other thing that she found that she can do, that she found on her own, I didn't tell her to do this, she found it on her own. She's doing planking. So she does planking for 5 minutes at a time in our small apartment in Hong Kong where there isn't much room. And but when it's rainy, whatever, she's doing it every night or every day, whatever, just, to help firm up the back, the lower back, and the front. And so she's having good results, and her sugar has been great ever since we met and she started to eat differently. Her sugar rate, numbers are great, and her doctor says, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. So, Rich reports this morning his sugar points are down 50 since he's been watching. Melinda's sugar is dead on, right on where it needs to be for 3 years in a row, and just based on changing the way she eats. Eating less rice. One of the things that Asians have a problem with is eating too much rice. One of the things that Americans and Italians have a problem with is eating too much bread. A lot of carbohydrates. And sugar is a major problem in Asia, especially in the Philippines. I mean, these people, their legs are getting cut off and everything else. I've seen the big black spots. It's really something. So take it seriously. Just try to change your lifestyle. Hope it helps. Those are my tips today on edema. Stop drinking soda. Don't drink diet soda. Drink water instead, which is right here next to me always. Nothing like water. But my coffee is also right here too. Okay. So, but drink the water. Substitute these soft drinks with water. Have a great day.